What's up, guys? Neil Orfield here, taking a look at the Stokastic NFL DFS lineup generator for Thursday night football between the Chargers and the Raiders. While you're coming in, please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. In this video, I'm going to look at both DraftKings and FanDuel lineups for tonight. You get both when you sign up for the lineup generator. It's $14.95 per week. You can find the link in the description of this video. And again, that includes every primetime showdown slate. It includes main slates, all of that included, both DraftKings and FanDuel for just $14.95 per week. Check it out if you haven't already done so. Every single lineup you get in the lineup generator has been run through the Stokastic Sims and was profitable in the Sims. So over tens of thousands of simulations, these lineups were profitable in the Stokastic Sims. Great deal. All right, I'm going to start by looking at some DraftKings showdown lineups. And I'm going to do all lineups, and I'm going to use standard projections. You could choose whatever game script you think is going to play out tonight, whatever you want to play. You can play for different game scripts. I'm just going to use standard projections here. All right, first lineup we have here, Jacoby Myers in the captain spot with Aiden O'Connell. So we got the stack right away. We got Zamir White in there with no Josh Jacobs tonight. Going to be highly owned, of course, but makes sense as the starting running back at just $3,000. We get Austin Eckler, Gerald Everett, and the Raiders defense. This lineup is leaving 4,100 on the table. I like it. I think this lineup makes a lot of sense. Not going to be duped a lot because it is leaving a good amount of salary on the table. We've got the stack. We don't have Easton Stick in here, so we don't have to worry about any kind of correlation with Stick. Everything about this lineup looks good to me. I have no complaints. Projection for 77.5 fantasy points, ownership at 191%. Looks like a great large field GPP lineup to me. Of course, if you're playing something smaller field, you probably don't want to be leaving 4,100 on the table. Most slates. This one, I don't think you would necessarily want to in a small field contest and anything that's cashy. But for a large field GPP, this looks like a lineup that certainly has paths to winning, and it's not going to be duplicated a ton. So this is a perfect large field GPP lineup. All right, let's take a look at the next one. This one again, leaving 1,400 on the table. Now we have AOC in the captain spot. We've got his stud receiver Devontae Adams in here as well, and then we have Zamir White. So if I have Aiden O'Connell in the captain spot, I typically want to have him double stacked because of the dynamics of scoring on DraftKings, where the receiver outscores the quarterback on every passing play. Here we have Devontae Adams and Zamir White, who's not extremely. He's not the the passing down back for the Raiders. At least I'm not expecting. I think Amir Abdullah will be that guy, but he'll still catch a few balls here and there. And Aiden O'Connell is also stacked up with Devontae Adams. So I think this works as a double stack here. I don't mind that. And then we have Easton Stick with 2 pass catches as well. Easton Stick with Gerald Everett and Quentin Johnston. We are leaving 1,400 on the table. This again looks like a great large field GPP lineup. I don't think it's going to be duped a ton, and all the correlations make sense within the lineup. Our lowest owned player here is Aiden O'Connell at 8% projected ownership in the captain spot. Nobody else super low owned, but Quentin Johnston at 16.5%, Gerald Everett at 20%. Relatively low owned players within the lineup. Projects for 73.5 fantasy points, 175% total ownership. So right away, 2 lineups that I really like for large field GPP right away here on DraftKings. This one looks pretty similar to our first lineup in some ways. Maybe not. We do have Easton Stick in here. We start with the same way the first lineup started, with Jacoby Myers, Aiden O'Connell in there. You add in Michael Mayer and Zamir White from the Raiders. And then we have Easton Stick solo stacked with Austin Eckler in this lineup. Kind of interesting to just have Stick with Eckler. Eckler is a very capable pass catcher, though. I think it makes sense if Stick is in the util. I think Austin Eckler totally works as a pass catcher to pair him with. This one leaves 900 on the table. This one, you're probably running into a couple dupes, I would guess, with this lineup. It's not going to go completely unduped. You're going to have to split the prize, I don't know, 15 ways. I'm not good at guessing. Not good at guessing these things, but we are leaving 900 on the table, so maybe avoids, the 100 dupe type of lineup. Looks like a nice lineup to me. So there are 3 lineups right away. All look pretty good to me for large field GPPs. Not a surprise. These are all lineups that showed up positive in the Stokastic Sims. All right, now I'm just going to go through. I'm going to save these lineups, all the lineups it lets me, so we can see what our exposures look like at the end, and then we'll take a look at some FanDuel lineups as well. All right, do we get bonus? Yeah, we got 39. We got 19 bonus lineups in this one. 64% Raiders defense. That is a bit of a surprise to me. Was not noticing how much of the Raiders we were getting in the first few lineups. Looked, I guess we just got them once in these first three, but they ended up coming in quite a bit. Makes sense going against Easton Stick, not a really established quarterback in the league. We were also getting to a lot of Aiden O'Connell, Austin Eckler. Notice that we're getting to 64% of the Raiders. We're also getting to 41% Easton Stick. You can play them together. This is Showdown. Don't have to worry so much about the negative correlation there in Showdown. Overall, I like this lineup quite a bit. Get both of the starting running backs here, of course. Zamir White because he's only 3K. Austin Eckler because he's Austin Eckler. They did say before the last game that they were maybe going to go with the hot hand approach at running back, and then Austin Eckler ended up playing more snaps than I think he had in any recent week. So he apparently was the hot hand last week. He probably will be the hot hand again. We'll see. It'll be interesting to follow how they actually go with the running back committee. Anyway, these are our top exposed plays. Let's take a look at FanDuel lineups as well. So I'm doing FanDuel single game. Again, going to do all lineups, and I'm going to use standard projections. First lineup we get on FanDuel leaves 4,000 on the table. That's kind of interesting. We got Jacoby Myers in the MVP spot with Aiden O'Connell here. One thing to note is actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Devontae Adams' price tag is on FanDuel. Maybe we couldn't upgrade Jacoby Myers to Devontae Adams. But that is, the kind of sacrifice you kind of sometimes need to make to get unique on showdown slates. But here we have Jacoby Myers in the MVP spot, Aiden O'Connell. So we got that stack right away. And then we have Easton Stick with Quentin Johnston, second stack. And then we have the Raiders defense. So, playing into the quarterback against opposing defense. Once again, something people don't like to do on showdown slates. Another way to avoid dupes. So leaving salary on the table, quarterback against opposing defense. Everything works out um, from a correlation standpoint. Both of the quarterbacks here are stacked up. Looks like a great large field GPP lineup to me. No complaints about this one. This one, immediately I notice, only leaves 500 on the table. So I have some concerns about this one being duped a little bit. Also has Easton Stick naked, which is totally viable on FanDuel. But the fact that it is Zamir White, the fact that it only leaves 500 on the table and has naked Easton Stick, I think I would be disinclined to play this one. Obviously, you can. We do have Aiden O'Connell with Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers, along with Zamir White. I think I would prefer to skip this one because I think it will be duped a bit just because of the salary, and also don't love having Easton Stick there without any pass catchers paired. So I'm going to skip. I'm going to say I wouldn't play this one. Another one. This one's only leaving 500 on the table. Has Aiden O'Connell in the MVP with just a single stack with Devontae Adams, Easton Stick paired with two running backs. Another one I think I would skip. It's only leaving 500 on the table. Don't really love the correlations. All right, this is interesting. So Daniel Carlson in the MVP spot probably works out in a low-scoring game. We have then Aiden O'Connell double stacked with Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers. So maybe they're able to move the ball down the field, but typically just ending up with some field goals. Maybe they score a touchdown here or there. I think it makes some sense. I think this is a lineup that could win and also not going to be duped like at all because we're leaving 9,000 on the table. That's a lot to be left on the table. Josh Palmer could be upgraded to any Chargers player up to $1,400. Anybody else in the lineup could be upgraded to anybody. Like so if you want to play Austin Eckler in this lineup, you could upgrade literally anybody up to Austin Eckler in this lineup outside of maybe Palmer. I'd forget Eckler's price tag. But I think that on this slate, there's no like sure things. So I actually really like this. I think this makes a lot of sense. All right, so there's two that I would play. All right, this one now 4,500 left on the table. Another kicker in the MVP spot. We've got Aiden O'Connell with Devontae Adams, Jacoby Myers, and Zamir White. So we need Dicker to be the highest scoring player in this lineup. The fact that he's in the MVP spot, there's no salary multiplier. First thing you need to note. So we need Dicker to outscore all these four. Certainly plausible. Could be a very low scoring slate with these quarterbacks. Aiden O'Connell and Easton Stick are the quarterbacks. Might be a pretty low scoring game here. But then we have the full on Raiders stack also. Aiden O'Connell, two pass catchers, and Zamir White. I think it could work out. Maybe the Raiders are able to score touchdowns. The Chargers are only able to score field goals, and it's leaving 45. So it definitely won't be duped a ton, leaving 4,500 on the table with Dicker in the MVP spot. My guess is this will be duped like virtually not at all. Even though all four of the other players in this lineup are getting significant ownership, the lowest being Jacoby Myers at 32%. I think this works for a large field GPP. I don't like it as much as some of the other lineups we've looked at, just because it feels a little bit thin having Dicker by himself in the MVP spot. They're going to need to move the ball, but I guess there's also possibility of, on kick returns. The kick returner brings it down to the 40-yard line, and they're already close to or in field goal range. So I guess I could see it. I think this works as a large field GPP lineup. There you have it. 3 lineups that I think work on FanDuel. Now I'm just going to we got through there. Oh shoot, I had some Dolphins and Titans lineup saved in here already. So I'm just going to clear these. I'm just going to go through the first 20 I get. So it'll be different than the 3 that I already went through, but let's just see what we get. If I save, what our exposures look like. All right, we got to 70% Austin Eckler, 65% Zamir White, 60% Jacoby Myers, 50% each Devontae Adams and the Raiders defense, 40% Aiden O'Connell. A lot of the players who just project the best on the slate. Makes a lot of sense that we're getting to these players in our lineups. All right, that is going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you haven't already done so. Check out the lineup generator. Use the link in the description of this video.